we're working, we're in the lab, and we're gonna make sure this happens as soon as possible.
Welcome to an episode of the Sports Genes Into the Lab podcast, where sports analysts and experts dissect the latest news from the NBA and NFL, giving you a unique view on some of the hottest topics around your favorite teams. From the fresh field smells of the NFL to the hardwood courts of the NBA, and possibly your comfy couch for your fantasy football team. Let's see what kind of news the lab is working with today. Here's your host from the Sports Analytics headquarters in San Antonio, Texas, Ernest Silva.
We're back. It is Expo Week, and I am excited. Your host, Ernest Doc E. Silva, here with the Into the Lab podcast, powered by Blue Collar Media Group. Welcome to the show, you guys. For those watching at home, we appreciate your lovely viewership on this wonderful night here, December 4th week, week 14 on the NFL. We have a lot coming at you. Go Cowboys? I mean, we're going to find out right now, but we are here with our co-host, Chris Borak. What's going on, my man?
Hey, what's going on, Ernest? What's going on, Chris Connor? Hope everybody had a great Thanksgiving. I'm ready to talk some football, and I am still on fire, apparently. So hopefully I can provide some more winning picks to people.
Yeah, you absolutely are on fire. Borak goes 13-3 last week on our bye week. I go 12-4. We are excited here. Chris Connor is back and in action, the Last Call podcast host. What is up, Chris Connor?
Not much. And first of all, happy Thanksgiving and happy Merry Christmas, happy holidays to you and your families. And well, this week in football, I'm looking and it's like usually I can make picks and like, okay, I'm gonna make my 4 picks, I'll win money like I did last week. This week I'm looking at it's gonna be tough. I'm gonna need your help because we got a lot of competitive games this week.
We do. It's a good. I was just talking to Chris Borak before the show, and we were talking about how this week is a little bit more difficult than most. A lot of toss-up 50-50s, a lot of analytics coming today, but it is an exciting week to talk football, an exciting week to talk Expo. So if you don't know what we're talking about with the Expo you're watching, we got a few of you in here. We're going to run the clip. Mark and our new addition to the ITL roster did a wonderful job with our promo, but if you haven't seen it, let's take a look at it. And we're doing something a little different this week.
Let's do it.
The Into the Lab podcast is presenting a holiday sports and Pokemon booth, December 7th and 8th at Shrine Auditoriums in San Antonio, Texas. Pokemon games for great prizes like the Surging Sparks Pikachu, the coveted Moonbreon, and so much more. Follow the Into the Lab podcast on any social platform and get over to Shrine Auditorium in San Antonio, Texas, December 7th and 8th. Wait, did we forget to mention a large Funko Pop selection as well? See you there. Look for our ITL shield.
That's right. We're going fancy this week too. The San Antonio Collectors Expo. ITL makes its debut into the scene with a large Pokemon selection. I will be making my debut as Doc E with the professor's coat and everything. And Chris Borak will be there in full ITL swag also. Borak, you'll be there at the Funko Pop spot, right?
Yeah, I'll have a lot of sports and wrestling. I know you love that, Chris Connor. And I'll have some sports memorabilia on me. So, yeah, come check us out if you're in San Antonio.
Super excited. And we're going to have tons of media there, too. Mark will be coming up. He'll be doing some live video feeds, pack openings. We'll have some really cool stuff. So if you're not knowing what we're doing, we have a big wheel that's going to go out there. All the kids will get some free spins. We'll have some free card selections, too, for the kids for the holidays. And then for all you collectors out there, we have some coveted spots like the Pika from Surging Sparks will be out there. That'll be part of our Expo King of the Hill. We're the featured Expo King of the Hill. We'll also have some of the awesome cards like Lugia Aquapolis and the Moonbreon at PSA 10. It's a lot of chasers, and we're excited to be a part of the scene. We've been planning this for a while, and BCMG and SATX Rated and our show ITL chipped in together. We have a really nice booth. So you're gonna look for the ITL badge, look for the ITL logo, and it's lighted too, so it's really nice. Come check us out this weekend, and December 7th and 8th from 10 to 5 p.m. both Saturday and Sunday. We will be there. Come say hi. Mention you saw us on this show, and we will give you some sort of discount or some sort of free item. Just mention you saw us today. But we're excited for today's picks. We have a really, really healthy competition happening for second place in ITL Pick'em, but Borak is running away 11 games in the lead with 4 weeks left, and I'm pretty sure he's got that champ title going as of right now. Borak currently sitting at 130 points for the year on ITL Pick'em, while I am right behind him at 120, or I'm sorry, 121. So I'm 9 picks behind you, Borak, not 11. So my math is terrible, but I'm 9 picks behind you. It's going to take a miracle for me to catch you. Davis and Kenny pleasantly behind me by 8 games. So we're neck and neck. And Chris Connor, if you would play every week, you'd be up there with us too. But you're right there also at 107. So here we are, towards the latter half or the latter quarter of the year. And before we do our first game, Chris Borak, anything you want to say to us challengers trying to catch you?
No, I mean there's always a chance, guys. There's always a chance, but it's looking pretty bleak. I mean, I got the magic number on the board, and it's ticking down pretty quickly.
Thanks, Borak. Appreciate that. Chris Connor, are you gonna catch him?
Probably not, but I'm going to try to make it interesting. So I'm going to go out and limb some of these picks and hope that Borak just has a bad week.
That's what we're all hoping for. All right, guys. If you're not familiar with the show, if you're new to the show, Primetime Pick'em is where we go through the 5 primetime games of the week. We talk about what those game spreads are, where we're leaning for those games, and so we're going to start this one off with a doozy, an NFC North matchup that is going to be happening in Detroit. The Detroit Lions are hosting the Green Bay Packers, and we start off with Thursday Night Football. Green Bay at Detroit -3. The champ and current standing champ is Chris Borak. Borak, you have the call for this first one. How do you see this game playing out?
This is going to be an interesting game. You got Lions are just beat up. Injury list is filling up on the defensive end. And the Packers defense is just trash. And you can't blame it on injuries. I see this as a high-scoring affair. If I was picking any bet on this game, I'd probably bet the over. I don't know what it's sitting at right now, but if you check that out. But I like the Lions to control the clock here against the Packers. I wouldn't look at the matchup that they had earlier in the year just because the Lions are so beat up on defense. The Lions dominated them in the first matchup, and that was at Lambeau. 51.5. I would hammer the over because I think this is going to be a shootout. And I think the way Detroit wins this game is they control the clock. They have to keep Love off the field. And if Love, he's been playing well the last few weeks, but I think there's going to be a turnover or two. And I think that's where Love is going to get in trouble. I don't see the Green Bay Packers putting any kind of pressure on Goff. And I just think he's going to be able to sit back there, get the run game going, get the play action pass going. And the Lions are just going to put up too many points. So give me Detroit the 3 easy.
Detroit -3, the first pick on ITL Primetime Pick'em, and we go to Chris Connor.
Detroit. Look, if a Packers secondary was playing, I'd be more optimistic. But Jair Alexander's been ruled out. Corey Ballentine is not going to be playing. Edgerrin Cooper's not playing. And if you can't stop Detroit's offense,
Do we lose him?
We lost you a little bit there, Chris Connor.
Yeah, Jair Alexander is out, but
it's going
Chris, we're gonna let you get reconnected. Why don't you refresh and come back in? We'll move you off for a minute. But I'm also taking Detroit -3 in this game. I think Detroit is a very safe play in this game. I know it's a rivalry game. I know anything can happen, but Detroit at home, they're much healthier. The defense still has some injuries to work with, but I don't think the Packers take advantage of that too much. I like your play on the over. To me, this is like a 34-26 game, Detroit, but it's not going to be like anywhere where it's in grasp for Green Bay. It might be a backdoor um, single digit cover if you're betting within if you're buying some points up. And so I like Detroit -3. I'm going to bring Chris Connor back on stage to see if we get his pick and see if this is a BCMG guarantee.
I'm going to Detroit with the money. I think Green Bay's defense is just too banged up. No Jair Alexander, no Cooper, no Valentine. So, yeah, give me Detroit.
All right, and if you're watching at home or you're at the expo and you're watching the replay or you just want to have some fun, wave those fingers in the air, wave them like you just don't care. That is a BCMG guarantee. That is right. Wave those fingers in the air, all 30 of you watching live. Our BCMG guarantee starts off with Detroit -3. And if you don't know what that means, it means that you go ahead and put your parlay ticket and you show us that $1 parlay entry and you get your money back guaranteed from Steve the General Reisner. Go look him up on X today. All right. Our next game is the noon game, the Atlanta Falcons against the Minnesota Vikings. Let's cue it. Kirk Cousins revenge game in full effect. Here it comes. Atlanta goes on the road back to Skull Nation. Minnesota 6-point favorites at home, welcoming them back. This was Chris Connor's ticket, but I'm going to take it for him right here. We have Sam Darnold and the Minnesota Vikings, who have struggled as of late. Middle of the pack offense. Defense has been giving up some points, but they went on a bit of a losing streak. Coming in against a team like the Atlanta Falcons, who are very streaky, depending on who they're playing. If they play against lesser opponents, they tend to play down to them. When they play against better quality teams, they tend to play up to them. And so, depending on which Minnesota Viking team is what Atlanta team we're going to get. I do like Bijan Robinson and that backfield in Atlanta. However, the Minnesota Vikings need this win just as much as anybody does for the NFC North. They're going to continue to play well at home. They tend to play top 10 in offense and bottom 10 in defense. The Minnesota Vikings, I think, will come out really strong in this game and take an early lead. And if you have to rely on Kirk Cousins to come back, then I expect them to struggle in that game if you're not using the run game for Atlanta. So give me the Vikings at home, and I'm going to take them with the spread. I don't think this is going to be a close game at the end of the day. I don't expect a backdoor cover. Minnesota -6 is my play. Chris Borick.
I'm not as confident in Minnesota as you are about covering the 6. Six is 6 is a pretty good big number. And they haven't been good against the spread this year. Now, on the other hand, I agree with everything you said about the Falcons. Kirk Cousins looks like he is done. Like, he was throwing some ducks last week. And the Falcons are another team that cannot pressure the quarterback. And so this just lines up for a perfect scenario for Sam Darnold at home. They are desperate to win this game, like you said, to keep pace with the Lions, because they do still have a shot to win this division. So I'm going to take Vikings, but I'm going to take them on the money line.
So you're not as confident in the Vikings to cover this. I'm kind of shocked by that, because when it comes to Kirk Cousins, he does kind of choke up on the ball. Is this a swap at quarterback then type of game for you for the Falcons?
If you're going to tell me they're benching Kirk Cousins, I would definitely take the points. Because to put Penix in that spot on the road in Minnesota, that would not go well.
We've seen crazier things happen. So I am very pro Minnesota in this game. You're not as confident, but you're still taking Minnesota money line, is what I'm understanding.
Yeah, I do think Minnesota wins this game. I'm just not confident in them covering 6 points.
Back in action is Chris Connor. Chris Connor, you have the last take on this for this game. Minnesota -6, Minnesota money line. How are you leaning in this Minnesota-Atlanta matchup? Still struggling there.
He's still struggling.
That's okay. That's okay. We'll get you. I know we'll get you back on there. So you keep at it. I'll have you keep adjusting your mic. We're gonna move on though to the next game, ITL game of the week. Buffalo Bills 3.5-point favorites on the road against the Los Angeles Rams. I think this is a sneaky good game. I think it's gonna be a dogfight. Borak, you want the call on this one? You can have it.
I initially was struggling with this one, but the more I dug into it, I just don't see the path for the Rams to slow down the Bills on the ground. And that's the problem. And really Stafford's ankle injury is really making me nervous. And if he's not able to be mobile out of the pocket, the Bills are able to put pressure on him. And their defense is playing really well as of late. So I was like, the Rams may be able to pull this off at home, but the Bills have just been playing great football. And they've been doing it on the ground, which is the scary part. So if they're able to keep Stafford off the field, even if he's not injured, which we probably won't know the severity of it till later in the week, I just don't see how the path of victory for the Rams.
Yeah, it would be interesting. An interesting note, when Matthew Stafford rushes for more than 22 yards a game, the Rams have only lost one game since he's joined that franchise. One game. So when he's not
good on that ankle last week.
Yeah, if he's not mobile, he's not as good throwing and staying in the pocket, especially off a weak foot. So I am not taking anything Rams in this game. I am going to take Buffalo -3.5. I think that was your take as well, right? Buffalo -3.5. The Rams a few weeks ago when Stafford was not dealing with a lower leg injury, right? I would tend to think this is going to be a closer game, a shootout almost, because I think both defenses wouldn't be able to stop the offenses. Fading wide receivers for Los Angeles would be my opinion. If you're playing this week, though, you may not have a choice with all the bye weeks teams. So good luck to you in those bye week playoff starters, right, Borak? We're in a good league that started off in the playoffs.
Yeah, if you just quick note, if you have a commissioner that decided to start your fantasy football playoffs during a bye week, I mean, come on, what are we doing? Like, fantasy football commissioners out there, you got to be checking, like, hey, they added one more week to this season. We have a week 18, 19. Come on, man.
Yeah, if you are in a league that tests your fantasy football manager experience by starting week 1 or round 1 of the playoffs on the last bye week of the season, then you're probably feeling a little bit like
this. You know how long I've been waiting for this? Woo, I'm about to make a name for myself here.
Man, I feel so bad for those people that made the playoffs and then there's 6 teams on a bye in the first week of the playoffs. Like, you're screwed.
In that same league, though, I will be honest, I have like 9 players on bye. So I don't think it'd be much help. Even if I would have had an extra week, I would have absolutely gotten demolished in that league. So there's Johnny on the spot right there. Chubby Paper says, I know, right, who is the first place person in that league. Johnny, I'm sorry, man. I think you have some bye week players as well you were upset about.
He's got a valid point. He's got a valid point, Ernest.
Chris Connor, are you back with us?
I don't know. I don't think he's back.
We're not back. But we do have 2. We're not going to do BCMG guarantees till we can hear his picks. Let's take our conversation over to a big game Sunday night. And I am really hyped for this game. I don't know about you, Borak, but I think this is going to be one of those games we remember for a while. At least it's going to be one of the games of the year for me. Sunday Night Football features the Los Angeles Chargers against the Kansas City Chiefs. 4-point favorites at home. The sea of red will be hot there at Arrowhead. Borak, I don't know why you shake your head. This is going to be a really good game. I think this is going to be a fantastic game. Now, the only reason I say that, now we talked last week. I think it was a Harbaugh Bowl where you guys were kind of poo-pooing all over the Ravens. You were like, the Chargers have this shot, right? And then they kind of laid an egg for you guys that week. And then they're going to go into Kansas City. This is one of those games where Kansas City does FAFO, okay? And
Okay.
Justin Herbert starts hot. And it's going to be like 21-10 Chargers at halftime. You're going to be like, what the hell is happening right now? Chris Conner was right. They're contenders. Then all of a sudden, it's like Travis Kelce touchdown, Taylor Swift's happy, transition to the fourth quarter. Pacheco gets his touchdown on his comeback. All of a sudden, it's 24-21. Herbert leads this drive. They miss the extra point. The Chiefs come back down. They tie it. We go to overtime. Herbert throws his bomb, and then it gets intercepted, and the Chiefs come back and win it on a field goal. It's going to be some crap like that, and it's going to be a memorable game. This is it right here. This is the game of the year. I'm really excited about this game. The Chargers tend to play really up in games where it's a lot of high-pressure situations. Harbaugh's done a really good job coaching the team, and I think this is one of those prove-it moments for them and showing that they're a playoff team. So I'm going to take the Chiefs to win this game, but not cover. I think this is a field goal winning game for the Chiefs. I'm going to take Chiefs money line in this game. What about you, Boric?
I agree with you that Harbaugh has done a great job this year. But where the game script goes wrong is there's no J.K. Dobbins. And that has really killed their offense. Not only that, Ladd McConkey is banged up, and I don't even know if he's going to play. And since you make us do picks on Wednesday, it is hard to make a judgment if he's going to go or not. He has a shoulder and a knee injury. And he was questionable last week. Like he went down to the wire whether he was playing or not. So
but he played well.
Yeah, he's take him out of that offense. They are done. They're cooked. But you saw how much they struggled without J.K. Dobbins. I just don't think this is the same team without J.K. Dobbins. And my number one golden rule is you never bet against Mahomes at Arrowhead. And especially in a primetime game like this, it's like it's going to be featured. I just can't do it. So I'm going to take the Chiefs, but I am not. Do not, if you're listening to me out there and you're going to bet this game, do not take the Chiefs with the 4 points. Wait for all these sharps to come in, get this around 3 points, and then take the Chiefs. If it goes down to 2.5, I don't know. Yeah, but the Chiefs do not give a flying flip about covering anything. They will win by a point, 2 points. They don't care about running it up. That's just the way this Chiefs team is.
It's the truth. It's the truth. Like they will do nothing for 3 quarters and then win the game by 1 against a shit team. They don't care. The regular season means nothing to the Kansas City Chiefs. Chris Conner, are you back?
All right, so I'm back finally. The snow is stopped for a minute. I'm going Chiefs. I think DJ Humphries will hopefully solve that left tackle swing hole problem that Mahomes had to run for his life because Wanya Morris can't block anybody. I agree with Borak. Without Dobbins, it's Ladd McConkey and a bunch of spare parts. Keep an eye on T. Higgins this offseason. I think he's airmarked for the Chargers. I think it's going to be T. Higgins or bust because they have nothing. That wide receiver room is horrible. But still, I only favor the Chiefs by 2 points. I look at this team, it's like they just don't care. All we care about is winning, get into the playoffs, then we'll try even harder. Right now, they're still trying to figure everything out. Well, they win because they have a horseshoe up their rear end and everything just breaks for them.
Yeah, I completely agree. And a lot of people are asking, like, is Travis Kelce on the decline? Like, he may be, but he's not this deep. I think he's just saving it, guys. Honestly, he's probably they've had this agreement. It's like LeBron sitting games, the games that matter at the end of the season. So they just will not play Kelce full 100% until the end of the year. Chris Conner, I need rapid fire here. Buffalo, Los Angeles Rams. Who do you have?
Oh, Buffalo, but with the points.
Okay. And Atlanta, Minnesota. Who do you have? Minnesota -6.
Minnesota only by 3. This is a weird game also. I can see the Falcons making it very scary.
There you have it. So Minnesota money line gets added to the BCMG guarantee. Buffalo minus 3.5 as well gets added to the BCMG guarantee. And Kansas City money line, wave those fingers in the air and wave them like you just don't care. Those are BCMG guarantees. All right, we come down to the final game of the week on Primetime Pick'em. And yes, if you didn't guess it already, we're absolutely queuing it because we have to mess around with everybody. Dallas at home, 5.5-point underdogs against the Cincinnati Bengals. I am going last. Chris Connor, why don't you make the call on this one?
Cincinnati, but you know what? I'm nervous about this game just because Cincinnati couldn't stop anybody. Russell Wilson torched them. And Godspeed to Kenny. I hope he's doing well. We can't wait to or just Luke. Can't wait to have back him on the show. But God, Cincinnati can't stop anybody. I mean, look, Russell Wilson. I can hear Luke going, "How the f does Russell Wilson put up all those points?" So as I said, give me Cincinnati. But this might be the game where either Jerry Jones loses it, Joe Burrow loses it. One of them just snaps and does something really bad.
Something is going to happen in the game. Cincinnati money line is the first pick here. Coach Peanut, former captain of the BCMG Stream Team, coming back in 2025. Dallas will win. Bengals defense is trash. Okay. Some Ohio hate there from Coach Peanut. Give us your prediction, Coach Peanut, on what that score is going to be. Johnny, I know you're probably still watching. Give us your score prediction as well. Anybody in the comments, get the score right. We'll ship over a $25 gift card today. Just go ahead and tag us in there. Hashtag ITL. Chris Borak, what you got?
Oh, Coach Peanut is on the money. So is Chris Connor. The Bengals defense is garbage. Joe Burrow calling him out. One could hope that can motivate them, but man, I don't know what to make of this game either. You got two teams that have motivational problems. They got coaching problems. What are they playing for? Dallas seems to be trying hard to keep McCarthy, which I don't understand. Like, McCarthy's about to keep his job, and y'all been trying to fire him the entire year. You got Jerry backing McCarthy, talking well about him. But 5.5 on Monday Night Football, I don't know, man. I do not see the Bengals covering 5.5 because of their defense. I do think the Cowboys are going to be able to score points. Ernest, I think the over-under is around, what is it? I thought it was 44.
49.5 now.
Okay, so I would be looking at the over, yeah. Because I do think the Cowboys are going to be able to score on the Bengals, and you already know Burrow's going to be able to put up points.
Yeah,
because that Dallas defense is atrocious too. Coach Peanut said 35-21 Dallas. I don't see the Cowboys stopping the Bengals offense to 21 points. There's no way. But hey, I could be wrong. But I'm going to take Burrow to outscore the Dallas Cowboys on Monday Night Football. He's been playing MVP ball. His defense is just horrid.
Cincinnati money line is what I'm hearing from Chris Borak.
Yep.
Coach Peanut says Dallas 35-21 in this game. Always appreciate the input from a fellow Browns believer. Okay. I made a promise I wouldn't take Dallas the rest of the year. I'm going to stick to that. I'm going to say, give me the points. I think Cincinnati still wins this game, but give me the points. Dallas plus 5.5. I think it's going to stay close. I don't think this game's a blowout either way. I think both defenses keep them susceptible to a backdoor cover either way. But I will say this to you Cowboy fans up there. I saw some of your posts. You got 2 wins. Take it easy.
Maybe we should get off of this road.
Hey, did I call that? I told y'all at some point this season when Dak got hurt, you guys are going to win a couple games. And then Cowboy fan was going to come in here telling me Hey, we still have a chance for the playoffs.
Start, Cowboys fans. You already were starting this past week.
Going
Johnny
crazy.
says high score game. Dallas wins with an Aubrey field goal. I'm feeling that. That'd be nice, but I am not going to say anything about postseason, and neither should you.
I
Whoever
think y'all
you are,
should. I think
you
y'all
need to
should.
stop. You need to stop.
Believe.
Since Cincinnati money line is not going in our parlay because I don't trust it, and that's not going there. I'm not rooting for the Bengals to win on Monday Night Football. And that is the end of Primetime Pick'em. If you're still with us, we got about 50 of you on there. You know, guys, drop a comment. Johnny, stop it. Stop it.
I like it.
We
I like it.
got about 50 on there. Comment who you think is the NFL MVP this year. I would love to hear those comments. Who do you believe is the NFL MVP as you watch our Expo clip one more time against ITL? We're making its Expo debut with a wonderful setup. Come check out the setup. Come mention you heard it on this show. But again, we're going Pokemon this weekend and Funko Pop and some sports memorabilia to give away. Come out, bring your kids, have some fun at our booth. Here's what we're doing.
Let's do it. The Into the Lab podcast is presenting a holiday sports and Pokemon booth, December 7th and 8th at Shrine Auditoriums in San Antonio, Texas. Pokemon games for great prizes like the Surging Sparks Pikachu, the coveted Moonbreon, and so much more. Follow the Into the Lab podcast on any social platform and get over to Shrine Auditorium in San Antonio, Texas, December 7th and 8th. Wait, did we forget to mention a large Funko Pop selection as well? See you there. Look for our ITL shield.
Hey, it's an expo. We're going to have a lot of fun. You guys come out, have fun, take pictures with Doc, take pictures with the ITL sports scientist. Mark will be out there. Finally get to meet Mark in person. You'll see Chris Borek and I there. We'll have a lot of good fun. London may make an appearance. That'd be really, really fun. Yeah, Dennis is saying, how about that three-way tie for best record in the ITL football league? It's absolutely wild. That is a really good league too. It's really close. I've enjoyed in there. I like 2 QB leagues nowadays. And appreciate that, Coach Peanut. Appreciate that. Appreciate the love. I like you flipping between Facebook and YouTube comments. You guys, again, comment your NFL season MVP now, and we'd love to get that called out on today's show, and then we'll send over some gift. Our next segment is called Fire Round Picks, and if you're not familiar, get ready. It goes fast. ITL's Fire Round Pick. If you're not familiar with it, stay tuned. We'll explain it right now. We're going to go through each game, money line picks only. If we like the spread, we might add it to the BCMG guarantee and then give you those odds at the end of tonight's episode. We are excited to go. This is a very short slate for this week. Again, 6 teams on bye here in week 14. There's a lot of fantasy football players not playing. Check those lineups. Thursday Night Football starts tomorrow. This segment powered by SATX Rated, one of the oldest partnerships we have for ITL, starting back from season 1. They are part of the booth and been part of the booth and investment into what ITL is today. So special shout out to Donovan Thompson, one of SATX Rated's founders and really good friend of the show. And let's get started. Cleveland at Pittsburgh. It's going to be a doozy here. I usually start with Luke, but Chris Borek as the champ currently. We got.
I got the Steelers, man. I don't know how anybody could be going with the Browns. Sorry, Coach Peanut. I mean, Winston's probably going to throw at least 2 picks to the other team and throw probably 3 to 4 touchdowns.
Yeah, Pittsburgh for me all day. Chris Connor.
Can't believe I'm doing this. Cleveland. I'm buying into the Jameis Winston hype, and it just feels it makes no sense. But then again, if somebody said to you that Cleveland would beat the Ravens, that would make no sense. So, yes, I don't get it, but this is going to be one of those Jameis Winston games.
Cleveland gets the surprise pick here. And Chris Connor, we're going to start with you in what I consider a toss-up game, 50-50. Jacksonville at Tennessee. Who do you like, Chris Connor?
Hold on. All right, I flipped a coin, and I guess I'm going with Tennessee.
All right, Tennessee, the first pick. Chris Borek.
Is Trevor Lawrence playing this week?
Out for the season.
Oh, they got a huge upgrade then at quarterback.
Mac Jones.
Yeah.
That's a good joke. That deserved a ton of laughs. You guys are sore losers.
Hey, Alabama Mac, I understand it. It's just Patriot fans would kill me if I ever said, "Oh yeah, Mac Jones is an upgrade." They would, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah,
sorry,
I
Coach
wouldn't
Peanut.
either, Coach Peanut. Yeah, I would go for that draft pick. I can't believe I'm taking Will Levis again. I swore him off, but Jaguars are just so bad. And Tennessee's I like Tennessee. Give me Tennessee before I change my mind.
Oh man, you guys are gonna hate me. You guys are gonna hate me a lot.
Oh, you got to go for your boy Mac Jones. You got to make up ground.
Hey, you gotta go for Brian Thomas Jr.
That's the game that's going to kill us. Tennessee money line
Oh,
enters the
wow.
BCMG guarantee, and we are not happy about it here on ITL. Yikes! I'm not happy about that whatsoever. But we move on. I do want to make sure the comment is made. Coach Peanut takes Tennessee in this week's game. Coach, we're going to notate it as well. Keep those picks coming in. If you want to tag in and see if you can beat the sports scientist this week, just comment. YouTube, Twitch, Twitter, Facebook. We have y'all all out there. There's about 50 y'all watching live. Get those comments going. Want to see you guys interacting. Jets, Miami.
Hey, can we ask the chat a question?
Sure.
Put your comments in the put your comment in there. Do you think the 3-game suspension was warranted? Do you think it was the right amount of games? Do you think it was not enough games? Put your comments in there. Trevor Lawrence, out for the year, not because of the hit, because they're tanking, but they want you to think it's because of the hit.
There you go. There you go. Put those comments in there. Was the 3-game suspension the correct call for that hit? Let's go ahead and get those comments in there. While we do that, let's talk about the second runner-up of Snoozer of the Week. Jets and Dolphins in this game. I think this game's going to be terrible, to be honest. I two of the most inefficient offenses this year, two of the most underqualified defenses this year. I am going to take Miami at home. Divisional matchups, I like the home team just because Aaron Rodgers has been struggling so much, and it seems like for the Jets, this season is wrapped up. So give me the Dolphins, Borak.
Yeah, and I got a comment for Coach Peanut's comment.
Okay.
Yeah, the Jets are a mess. Rodgers needs to retire. Like he is. Oh my God, he is the problem, and he doesn't think he's the problem. And I don't. Jets management doesn't think he's the problem. I just don't get it. I don't understand what New York's doing. I think this is an easy Miami win. And they're talking about holding out Breece Hall.
Yeah, and a number of players on the defense too.
Yeah, so what are we doing?
I don't know. We're gonna make up a bunch of injuries. Coach Peanut also says yes, the suspension was warranted. This isn't his first offense.
Okay. All right. So all these offenses that I keep hearing about, one was a face mask, one was a roughing the passer penalty, and the other was the Caleb Williams tiptoeing on the sideline and then got hit and got flagged for a late hit. And then, of course, he threw the punch, which is, of course, going to draw some attention. But here's my point. You have these quarterbacks who are protected by, let's just say they're protected. You have quarterbacks coming and fake sliding, fake going out of bounds. Like, where does the line get crossed where you're just taking advantage of player safety rules and getting an advantage over the defense? Because I just see it as the NFL only looking out to protect offensive players, and they could care less about defense anymore.
I do agree with that. I think to an extent he could have done less in that situation, but there is, you watch the play in real time. It looked nasty, right? And he did extend the arm a bit, and so there's a suspension now. 3 games is kind of up there.
Oh, come on. Look,
Right.
I got to jump in here. He's as dirty as they come. He used his helmet when a helmet to lower back hit against Tony Pollard. The blasting Caleb Williams is out, in the out of bounds or throwing a first punch. Look, we'd love to have him. He is what, Rodney Harrison was to the Patriots. When he's for any other team, you can't stand his ass. But because he's on with Texans fans go, hey, he's our guy. He's a rough and tumble player. I agree. The rules should be tweaked a bit. And but come on, this isn't his first rodeo. He's had a history of leading with his helmet, going a little bit.
He's never led with his helmet.
Watch what Tony Pollard hit, where Tony Pollard is running out of bounds, and he basically goes helmet to lower back. He's done dirty hits. Let's not.
We're not allowed our forearms and helmet anymore to tackle people.
I'm not saying he's a saint, but I am going to say that the rules do favor offensive players. You can't say that's not an inaccurate statement.
All I know is that Borak is pulling his best Johnny Cochran. If the hit don't hit, then you must have quit.
Look, I'm not saying it wasn't a late hit. I mean, the rule is clear. He's sliding. But, I mean, to say it wasn't a bang-bang play, and the fact that Lawrence didn't pull up before, he knew what he was doing. You can see Aziz right at the first down yard line, which people don't even recognize because of the hit. But they're right at the first line. He's trying to get the first down and slide at the same time. So what do you want him to do in that situation? And I'm not justifying that it wasn't a flag. I completely agree with the flag. But saying a middle linebacker, if you go back and look at any Pro Bowl, Hall of Famer, middle linebacker, you're going to see the same offenses for doing excessive hitting. Come on. We're quoting face mask. How many players in the league get face masks? We never talk about it.
What was the face
I don't get it.
I'm going to try to choke slam you by going underneath the face mask, grab your neck, and then try to shove you. Come on. Barker, I get it. And I'm all for hard-hitting plays. But I'm guessing he's been warned, you got to stop this. No more. This is the fourth, fifth time when you run past the stop sign and they finally say, look, we tried warning you. This isn't working. We're giving you a ticket.
Yeah. I mean, I get it. We can play both sides of this. I think, one, the hit was bad. It just happened. I think it was a bang-bang play. I don't care what anybody says. You watch it in real time, it's bang-bang. We've seen quarterbacks fake the slide and keep running. That's curving the rules to your own advantage. I'm not saying that's what Trevor did, but we've seen that. And so as a defensive player, if you leap off your feet and the quarterback's sliding late, shit's gonna happen at that point.
Yeah, that's my whole point.
Watch the play. And we can still shot it for anybody who wants to question it in the comments and show you he leaves as the slide's happening. It's not inaccurate.
And my whole point is you've got to set something in place where you've got to penalize these quarterbacks that are taking advantage, like the Kenny Pickett play where he fake slides and the defender does what you guys want Aziz to do, just to stop playing, and he runs for a 60-yard touchdown. You can't have it both ways. You got Josh Allen doing the same thing. I think Josh Allen's the MVP of the year so far. Great player, but he knows what he's doing. You've got Josh Allen, who's bigger than most middle linebackers out there, and you got him fake sliding. What do you want a defender to do? And that's my whole point, is you've got to have some balance if you're going to have and support this player safety rule.
I do think the suspension was warranted. I think maybe 1 or 2 games would have been fine. But if you want to set a 3-game precedent, just hold it across the league.
Agreed.
And we'll move on. Miami or the Jets?
Miami.
Chris Connor. All right. Miami moneyline enters our BCMG guarantee for time purposes. We're going to roll right through it. We'll get your fingers in the air in just a moment. Let's go to Carolina, Philadelphia in this game. Anybody taking Carolina?
Nope.
Can't do it.
Philadelphia money line also hits the BCMG guarantee parlay. We'll enter those odds at the end of tonight's episode. All right, Vegas, Tampa Bay. Anybody taking Vegas?
I thought about it for a little bit, but I couldn't do it.
No,
Can't do
can't.
can't do it either. That takes us to our iconic game of the week, which is the one that we know Luke loves the most. That takes us to ITL's wonderful snoozer of the week. If we have the clip for it. Saints Giants. I think this is going to be the snoozer of the week for numerous reasons. I do have the Saints winning this game at the Meadowlands. Chris Borick.
The Giants just let Dowdle have a career day. I can only imagine what Kamara's going to do. So give me the Saints.
Chris Connor.
Saints.
As I predicted, New Orleans money line also goes on to this game. This game will be over by halftime, probably 34-0. You'll be figuring out something else to do with your life. Last but not least, the Cardinals host the Seahawks in a Seahawks victory that happened 2 weeks ago, 16-6. I was the only winner of that game, but I think it'll be a different story in Arizona. Chris Connor, who do you have in this game?
Give me Seattle. They're playing hot, and Arizona's looking terrible.
Seattle gets a first call. Chris Borak.
No, Cardinals all day long. I told y'all from the jump. Cardinals division.
I like the Cardinals at home as well. I think they play way better at home than they do on the road, although Marvin Harrison Jr. would disagree with that. He kind of plays worse at home than he does on the road. But that is tonight's episode for Fire Round Picks. I know we have some comments in the chat, so let's take a look at what we're seeing. Oh, yeah. Chris, you're just the appeal did fail, and it stayed in 3 games there for him. So that's where that ended there. But as we end tonight's episode and calculate the odds for tonight's parlay, one of I or Chris Borak, we'll give you those odds in just a second. Let's run through them. Detroit -3, Buffalo -3.5. The rest money line plays: Kansas City, Minnesota, Tennessee, Miami, Philadelphia, Tampa Bay, New Orleans. If you are writing those down, beautiful, rewind the clip and you'll get it again. We are going to show you one more time. We are going to be at the San Antonio Collectors Expo at Shrine Auditorium in San Antonio, Texas. Come make the drive. Come fly in. Come have some fun with us. There's going to be a giant wheel. There's going to be tons of activities for kids to go digging for cards and a bunch of King of the Hill prizes, a bunch of Pokemon everywhere. It's going to be so much fun. And then Borak will be running the Funko Pop spot there at the end of the booth and have those Funko needs for you. And then, of course, it's the holiday season. We have tons of giveaways with sports memorabilia there at the expo. We appreciate you guys being there, being here tonight, having fun with us. For those of you interacting, we appreciate the heck out of you. For those of you just watching, don't worry. We appreciate the lurkers also, but we have to show it. Here is our final expo show here on ITL tonight.
Let's do it.
The Into the Lab podcast is presenting a holiday sports and Pokemon booth, December 7th and 8th at Shrine Auditoriums in San Antonio, Texas. Pokemon games for great prizes like the Surging Sparks Pikachu, the coveted Moonbreon, and so much more. Follow the Into the Lab podcast on any social platform and get over to Shrine Auditorium in San Antonio, Texas, December 7th and 8th. Wait, did we forget to mention a large Funko Pop selection as well? See you there. Look for our ITL shield.
I'll tell you what, that's wonderful and all. And we're missing the Bears 9. Oh, I see it now in the private chat. We're missing the Bears Niners for this week. I was just looking at the game. Let's talk about the Bears Niners before we wrap up. The Chicago Bears are on the road against San Francisco. San Francisco 3.5-point favorites at home. Chris Borak, who do you have?
This was a tough one to pick, but I do think the 49ers find a way to win this game. The Bears will play good for a half, and then they just completely disappear for a quarter or two. And I don't know. I'm going to take the 49ers, but I don't feel good about it.
Chris Connor.
49ers. I like Borak, I don't feel good about it. I mean, I just don't trust the Bears. I think they need to literally overhaul the coaching staff, the mentality of that team. But yeah, for now, give me the 49ers.
Only thing the Cowboys and Niners have in common, they're both 5-7. Give me the Bears. I'll take the Bears to win this game on the road. I think Caleb Williams coming in within his own. And the Bears defense, I know they get a lot of slack, but they're not terrible. And the Niners have been. So I'm going to take the Bears on the road so they don't get added to the parlay. Borak, did you run the parlay? I did. I just want to see if you did as well.
Yeah, I did.
All right. What do we have on odds for the BCMG guarantee parlay for this week?
Plus 29.35.
That's beautiful. Put in $1,
Yeah.
you win 29. Put in 5, you're almost at 150. That is tonight's episode, guys. Thank you so much for being a part of tonight's episode. All of you that lurked, all of you that were interacting, we appreciate the heck out of all y'all. We got up to about 60 people at one point on the live. All of you on all of our platforms, wonderful. Blue Sky is coming to StreamYard, so we should be streaming onto there as well very soon. And again, let's go around the room. Chris Connor, tell the people where they can find you.
LastCallPodcast.com, which tomorrow we have Nino Brown. He's going to break down Georgia versus Texas, Oregon versus Penn State, Ryan Day's future, and try to make sense of the playoff championship rankings. We're going to get to that. And also you can check me out on it's Last Call, x.com/Last Call WChrisC. I'm on Instagram, YouTube channel, LinkedIn. And gentlemen, always a pleasure being on the show.
Wonderful. As always, Chris Connor, thank you so much. Chris Borak, the co-host and current leader of ITL Pick'em. Talk to the people.
Yeah, thank you for everybody joining. Good conversation. Love everybody's opinions and comments. Good luck to everybody with their bets and the fantasy football this weekend. And hope to see some of you guys out there this weekend at Shrine Auditorium. Just mention that you saw us on the show, and we'll hook you up some sort of discount. But thank you, everybody. Like, comment, and subscribe. We're trying to build this channel and the community. So thank you, Coach Peanut, for interacting with us. Appreciate it.
Absolutely. Same to Johnny and same to a few of y'all. We appreciate the heck out of you.
Yes,
I am your
thank you.
host, Ernest Doc E. Silva. Come out. Come have some fun with us this weekend. Mention ITO. Get a free gift. Hey, guys. We don't make it without y'all, so we appreciate all the loyalty. We appreciate all the love. And as we go into more 2025 action, ITL is coming with tons of more surprises. So stand with us, stay with us. We got a lot of fun. # what's in your DNA. ITL out. Thank you guys. Have a great night. Good luck to your teams this week.